Hello, my name is Leo. Welcome back for another episode of How to Run 3, Black Ice version 12. I haven't updated to the 12.03 yet, although it is out already. I just kind of forgot about it by the time I started this session, but I did do a bit of save editing in between this episode and the previous one, and I decided to remove the Shaanxi Wars, which could not end. So now we have a small problem with the amount of consumer goods that we need. We need about 102% of our total IC in there, but of course that is with the various laws and mobilization going on, so if we demobilize, that's already going to reduce it drastically. Well, a little bit at least. It's not actually that much, but what we can do is we can switch to the full mobilization once more, and then we can go ahead and switch to the mixed industry, and that is already a massive reduction in the amount of consumer goods needed. I mean, it's now down to 32.6 IC, which is still about 20% of our total, but it's definitely a lot better than what it was earlier. So now we can at least be in peace for a little while. The war exhaustion went down a little bit, although it wasn't really that bad yet. Although let me actually have a look. We have currently about 900 points, and it's about 2,500 is where it goes to low war exhaustion. So now at least it will be going down. But it's only by 5 per month, so it won't go that far down at middle. But we might buy ourselves a few months at least extra of warfare before it goes up. But we are in process of upgrading a lot of troops, that's for sure. Actually, let's go ahead and push the mountaineer up the top as well, so that will be done slightly sooner. We'll go ahead and unpause. We've got quite a bit of troops moving. I think for the woe, and we need a bit more consumer goods actually, since we lost some of the industry and all that. Sure, we can sell a bit of supplies. So we are going to need probably at least one or more armies in here along the northern border. Then we'll need about one army worth of troops along the coastline, not in addition to the garrisons that we're building up right now. A bit more mobile troops that can move around and help in defending, because the war against Japan is going to be costly, and I don't know if we can actually declare the war yet. No, we cannot. Not yet. I'm sure that will change soon enough. Right, so let's go on speed 4. We've got a decent bit of, well, we've got some troops at least on the move, not necessarily all that much. This one's supposed to be part of the first corps, which is that's the, I suppose this one could be, wait, no, I think all of these are already full. Yeah, they are. Okay. Move these back. We do have another 2 corps heading for the Xinjiang border, so we can do a war in there probably soon enough. We will, of course, want to wait for the home front to expire, so that's going to reduce, or rather, it's going to reduce the descent a little bit, although we don't have any descent right now, so that part won't be too much. It will reduce a little bit on the amount of energy that we produce, but also allows us to get an extra 100 manpower in the next war, which, you know, could be quite handy. But we need to build about, or we need to have at least 2 armies worth of proper fighting units, not necessarily like massively sized units or something like that, but, you know, proper divisions to fight off the Japanese. And I don't know if that is even going to be enough, but I'm hoping that it will be. Like, if we have one army on the northern front, then we can have one corps around Qingdao, then another one near Shanghai, another one somewhere along, or near Xiamen or Fuzhou, somewhere over there, then one over here in former Guangxi Clique region, so like Guangzhou and Beihai. So somewhere in there is another core, and then maybe one more on the southern border towards Indochina, because eventually that will switch hands to Japan. Ooh, we can start building pillboxes now. Alright then. It's actually going to be quite handy. Also, I suppose what we could do is research the fortress. Not that we're necessarily going to build that, but getting the extra mechanical engineering knowledge is not bad for some other research. So, you know, we'll do that. Where is that? Oh, right, that was still moving further there. So we've got the first army. We do have a second army. So this is kind of the northern army right now. We might have to move the coastal guards actually into a second, or like their own army. Let's say we move this one to Wuhan. That's probably going to be a fairly central location, and then assign that under Mao. We got actually, oh, right, we got, oh! these two were supposed to be for the Mountaineer divisions, which are actually going to be done in next month. So that's not going to take too long. We'll need a bit more upgrades, but that's fine. We can assign that. We could use a bit more supplies, but we're not really in a huge demand for more. I'm expecting that at least some of these things will be built soon. We'll get the convoys built. Not that we have a lot of convoys going on right now, especially once we start fighting Japan, we need to make sure to have no convoys moving about, because those convoys will be lost otherwise. But we do have... Ah, right, so this is a core that is amassing in here. So this is probably going to be the core that will provide some protection for the Shanghai region. We'll need to upgrade some of these militias, of course, and turn them into proper divisions, but... or, like, split them into 2 divisions each. But that is at least underway. We got the engineer over here. Oh, hold on a minute. It's not an engineer, it's an infantry regiment, of course, but that is waiting for another one of these. Or the, well, it's the same thing, to be fair, but one of those to be built. We'll need a bit more reinforcements. Keeps fluctuating a little bit. At least the officers are now having a small respite to recover, although I suppose neutrality and all that means that we're not actually gaining that much in the end, but it is what it is. So we do have this core. I suppose this was probably going to be the core guarding the southern border, I reckon. So that was a full division already. That was a full one. These two need to be split still. I'm going to send in one of the light infantry in there. One of the militia just join there, and that one's going to go in there. The other 2 are going to stay in here for now, because we still need to split those into 2, and then we're going to use those 2 to maybe join up the hands with this unit, actually. So do we have... we don't have a southern army yet. So this is the northern army. I suppose we could name it that way. So that's the northern army. And then that one's heading down south. So this is going to be the Coastal Guards army. Which is going to be all the garrisons, essentially. Underneath there. Then I suppose we might have... actually, Mal can't... No, there's room for one more in there. Okay. So I'm thinking that we will maybe make a new army down here in the south for the southern army. We can probably move this one to Changsha. That'll probably be a bit more central location. There we go. Now we've got at least a bit more troops available. Well, some of these are... actually, that one's not out of sight of the reach yet. I guess this one... yeah, that could be assigned under the northern army already. So we've got now the first corps, which is almost full. It's not quite full, but almost. So we can do a little bit more work on that one. I suppose the engineer regiment that we... no, not that one. 9th engineer regiment. We could just go ahead and assign this one. Or join this one into the first corps. So we'll have at least some more troops to the front line. So we need to start preparing for the war against Japan, one way or the other. I mean, there's many ways to do that, mind you, but there's a lot of ways that we need to do. Now, to be fair, one of the things that I could do... I'm actually going to go for the 2-year draft. That's going to reduce the... no, increase the officer recruitment, reduce the IC a tiny bit, but it's not too bad. Reduce money by 5%. We need actually slightly less consumer goods that way. And the manpower, or peacetime manpower rotation is reduced quite a bit. We'll do that one. Conscription we can probably leave at normal for the time being, but we can... reserves penalty, actually. It did reduce it by another 10% over there. Okay, so, yeah. That means that we'll have a bit more troops on the divisions already. It's hopefully not going to be too bad. We actually do need, indeed, a bit less... oh, and there's the wartime measures ending. Very good. Ah, rare materials refining techniques. Here we go. We can do the high-density alloys now, which is going to be very handy. And Special Forces branch upgrade has been completed. Xinjiang wants to sell us some fuel. We're going to be preparing for a war against it very shortly anyway. We've still got troops heading towards the border. So it's probably going to be somewhere around November when we start the war. Most likely. But yeah, we've got the refining. So let's actually go ahead and get the high-density alloy upgrade already. We'll go ahead and queue that one to the top of the list. Rare materials refining. I suppose that could actually stay there. I'm going to put in the other 3 there as well. I suppose we could put the additional supplies into the research queue as well. We're not going to put on all the 1938 techs yet, but we know that those are not going to get started until we get far enough anyway. And Ecuador wants to sell us fuel. No, we don't really need more fuel. We've got almost 80,000 already. That will last us for quite a while, especially since we don't even have most of the recon cavalry upgrade to motorcycle recon or anything like that. Ooh, single engine armor research advanced, so we can now get the twin engine armor if we want to, and we might want to do that actually. So we'll get that started. We haven't gotten the fighter techs researched yet, but that is at least another step closer. Additional warfare will be reaching level 2 fairly shortly as well, and so is the synchronized machine gun. Oh, right, so that's the one over here. That's going to give us a decent bit of air attack for the interceptors. Now, to be fair, we don't have any interceptors yet. We have no air force whatsoever, and the ships that we have are just the auxiliary vessels, but it is still a start at least. No, there's the synchronized machine gun. And since that is once only research, we don't need to take it away from the research queue or anything. Everyone's just wanting to sell us some fuel, which we don't really need. Okay, so this is currently in the First Army. I suppose... Should this be in the Northern Army, or should this be in the... I suppose we could maybe even assign it under the Southern Army. For the time being. It's kind of in the South. It's not really in the South, I suppose, but it'll do for now. There's attritional warfare. Is that now ahead of time? Kind of. But it's not that bad. We can keep it in there. So our troops are slowly arriving to the front line. We've still got some militias and other stuff like that in here, which we'll need to move about at some point. Do we still have... Oh yeah, we still got one more unit heading in here for that corps, which is getting a infantry regiment already in there. Okay. It's quite handy. What do we have? Oh, it's an engineer regiment. Now, do we actually have any units that need that? I suppose that is the one... Yeah, okay. So we could give engineer for that one. That would mean that the infantry regiment that is then done is going to be put into the deployment queue instead. Which could be handy, but at the same time... I suppose the the general could maybe have that, or... Oh, hold on a minute. In Chengdu, have we already got on the... Yeah, we could combine these two. I guess this could be under the First Corps instead, so we can go ahead and take this entire corps now. I'm going to have this one guard the area around Beijing, I think. So we'll have one infantry and one light infantry on both of these. And then we'll have one light infantry in the reserves, so we can do a bit of rotation. Eventually what we'll probably do is we'll have a corps on both of these, then two corps over here, and then one corps guarding these two and acting as a bit of reserves. We will start building some pillboxes soon enough, but we've still got the engineer that we have not assigned, so let's just... I guess we'll put it under the second Yunchuan. That'll probably be good enough. We need a lot more reinforcements right now, briefly. Actually, we don't need to put in that much reinforcements in there. We're not in a hurry. We'll put in like 5 IC. It'll take a little bit longer, but that means that we could do a bit more production in the meanwhile, because we've got the time. And the sooner we can get the productions done, the faster we can get the practicals up, which means that the future productions will be slightly faster as well. Although the increase isn't necessarily going to be that massive with the units that we're building right now. But regardless, it does help. So where are we on the... we're actually not that far from the Comintern. So we'll probably try to... Oh, we're already being influenced. Okay. Alright then, I was thinking of maybe joining in, but our neutrality is relatively high, 53 still. And there's no mutual threat yet. I mean, our threat to them is 0 for now. We will eventually... I suppose we can start the war against Xinjiang fairly shortly. We've got some more troops heading in here, so I suppose let's just go ahead and have a look at the front line. Where can we have troops? So it's just going to be these two provinces that we need to worry about. So I think what we're going to do is that we're going to have... Okay, there's one more unit heading in. I'm not going to move the core itself, but we're going to go ahead and move in 3 units here and 2 units over there. It's a bit further away. That middle, so we probably don't even need to go for that one. You know what? Yeah, we'll just move everything there. And then from this particular core, we'll go ahead and move essentially everything into Aksay. Then we can just push through. 10 divisions will probably be a bit of an overkill on this one, but it's probably going to be a relatively quick war, although, well, technically speaking, what we need to do... We need to take, actually, only their capital. Okay, so that's not going to be too bad then. I think the infantry and mountaineer divisions will do that for the most part. We'll have a bit of support from the other units, but that's about it. Well, we can actually reduce the consumer goods a bit further. There we go. So we've still got about 6 more days for the Mountaineer Division, one of them to be built. So we can eventually have a full-on Mountaineer Corps. Industry Advance, there we go. That's something that we can probably keep on going. Yeah, it's 1934, so that's definitely not ahead of time. Get that underway. But as we stated in the previous episode, I think it was previous episode, or one of the previous episodes, there is a lot of mountains and hills in here. So the Mountaineer Corps probably needs to be on the northern front line to aid in there. And also, we definitely need to get some sort of planes in here. Maybe we'll go ahead and build up the airbase in Beijing a bit further. We do not have any air units available yet for production. Once we do, we'll build at least, let's say, 2 wings of interceptors. Or maybe we'll build at least 4 wings total. We can do them in batches of 2, essentially. So that will give us 4 interceptors in here to keep at least the area around Beijing somewhat clear of enemy planes. Not necessarily fully, but at least enough to get started. And one of the things that we might do is we might just go ahead and or like use 2 for intercepting and 2 as a reserve, so we can always have 2 repairing. Oh, there we go. That's the first of the mountaineers. Go ahead and give it a division HQ. Then we'll go ahead and set up a new corps. The first mountaineer corps. I suppose this is going to be under the Northern Army, so we'll assign it there. And I guess what we can do is we can go ahead and move this one a little bit closer to the front line already. This one is still waiting for... Yeah, there's still 1 more unit heading in. Not too far away, luckily, but it is still taking a little bit of time. And the second Mountaineer Division is basically going to be done right about now. We'll assign that under the first Mountaineer Corps. Now, it doesn't have the pack artillery, perhaps, but I'm sure that will be good enough. Move that one a little bit closer as well. So that's already 2 more divisions. That does mean that we've got just about enough officers. But our total army size is at least 177,000, which actually doesn't include everything. So it's about 180,000 total, which is an increase. Quite significant increase, even. We do have some units over here that do not have engineers, so let's go ahead and separate one of these, I guess. Oh, that one doesn't have one yet. There we go. And then this one could be upgraded into probably an infantry regiment. That'll probably be fine. Now we're going to start working on some of the steel production and all that. Although right now, if we do have a look at our resource production, since the total industry dropped quite a bit, we could save... Well, actually, no. We do need the raw material import right now. Ooh, tactical breakthrough. Now, that's quite handy. If we have a look at the deep battle, so we can't get the next level for it yet. But it does reduce the combat with our infantry division, so we can fit in more units into a combat, which will be probably very, very crucial for our survival. The difference may not be a huge one yet, but once we get a few levels more, then it will already start making quite a difference in the combat itself. We're losing a bit of supplies. Are the troops in position? Most of them are. Okay, I think it's then time to go ahead and start the war. Xinjiang is going to be declared on. It does use the... I think it does at least use the Civil War casus... Yeah, it does use the Civil War casus belli. Fair enough. We can do the home front. We will give us a bit of dissent, but that's alright. Lose a bit of money, but we've got a decent bit of cash right now with the tax increase. And let's just go ahead and send in these. I guess we'll split these in half, essentially. And some over here, so we can move along this... suppose that could join in. The militias probably don't need to move in right now. They're not going to be that much of a use. They're not all that quick. And let's go ahead and increase the laws again. We'll go for war economy. We'll go for the heavy industry. And I suppose that's actually about it. We don't need to change anything else. So there we go. We got we got a little bit more dissent. But we are paying off already 0.15 dissent per day. So that's pretty decent. Well, we will need some reinforcements. I don't think we actually need to worry about the reinforcements too badly. Actually, are these... Yeah, no, these are still all wear reserve units, but they were pretty full, all things considered, to start with. Can drop the upgrades a little bit. We are going to get some more units built soon enough, especially with the increase in... Oh, there we go. 50 kilogram bomb development. So that's at least allowing us to go towards some bomber techs. I suppose we could get the interior bomb for sure. Although that's only going to be... Yeah, it might not be useful for the planes that we're building right now, but eventually we'll probably get some twin-engine planes as well. But initially it's going to be just single-engine planes because we've got quite a bit of catching up to do, and we can't do everything. But what we can do is at least get started. The Soviets stop influencing us. I think it might be time for us to align towards the Soviets, so they don't need to pay... Oh, and tungsten mine is online. Well, 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 I'll take that. Of course, then we need to invest into another level. Also, I suppose, I'm just going to quickly check national focus. So we have been focusing on, I think, science still. which is probably fine, although we are probably going to keep balancing between the science and ground focus for the time being. We do not have any ministers that have the economy focus yet. I believe we are going to get one later on, possibly more than one. But we do not have it quite yet. But the movement is pretty swift in here, so we should be able to move all the way to Urumqi fairly quickly. And then this war will be over. Then we'll also have a land border with the Soviets, so we can do trades with them without worrying about convoys. And there's the tungsten surplus increasing, very good. Oh, there we go, we found some enemies. I think we're just going to go bypass that one for now, at least to cut them off, and then we're going to destroy them. Like, we could maybe send in a couple militias in here to deal with that. Ooh, armor factory, there we go. And we've got a... oh, less reinforcements needed. We do have another garrison. Which, to be fair, the Northern Coast Guards are still waiting... wait, are they still... oh, right, we didn't have one over there. I see. And actually, I don't think we want to have this commander in here. I'll save the custom... or the commander pack generals for, like, battle commanders and motorized and armored divisions and that sort of stuff. Ooh, artillery factory. Right, how is the advance going? Well, we'll take in a bit more. Let's keep on moving. Ooh, payment receipt. Oh, there we go. Now we're at 22,000. We did spend in quite a bit, so that is still a fairly good amount of money that we're getting from the increased taxes. Which is always nice. Ooh, there we go. Now we're right in here. I think the Mountaineer can keep on going. The Infantry Division, you know what? That can actually keep on going as well. And what do we have? Ah, there we go. We can build up another unit. So we've got the 9th Engineer Regiment down here. So this could be turned into a full-on division once more. And I suppose that could be assigned under the... well, it's not really the Motorized Corps. Oh, actually, hold on a minute. Motorized Corps. Ah, right. We've got Albertus over here with the Battle Commander. Right, I'm going to move this one bit off to the... or off to the side from the capital. So we can at least keep an eye on it a little bit better. So I guess what we'll do is we'll set up another corps. And then I guess this one's going to be also underneath the Northern Army. So this is going to get us a few more at least to build up divisions. That'll be fine. We've got 666 manpower right now. We're getting 74 per month. Oh boy. Ooh, resource production. Yeah, I'll take that. More artillery factories, HQ division, or division HQ, sorry. Advance. So now we're going to get the... wait a minute, superior firepower. We unlock some stuff for that. Oh yeah. Well, that's 1939 tech, so we probably don't want to go over that one quite yet. And how we started getting these strength upgrades? Not yet. We are going to get a second level for them. And I think especially the infantry, probably the mobile units and armored units will get, and special forces. So these four will get a level 2 as well, research. For the support units, we don't necessarily need to increase those too much. Not initially, anyway. Just to save up a little bit on manpower, because while we have a good income, if we do increase the army size a lot rapidly, then we will have some issues still. It looks like this was a fairly quick battle, so by the time we arrive there, we can probably end all of that. And this one's... oh. It's already got 7 brigades. It's got one more upgrade there. Yeah, okay, so that's going to get dropped off from that list soon enough. And looks like the consumer goods need is dropping quite a bit, so that's good. Oh, and rolling artillery barrages has been researched. Is that's not ahead of time yet, is it? Yes and no, it's not really that much ahead of time. So it's not going to cause an issue. And no, we don't... oh, there we go. No more consumer goods needed. So production is going to take a bit of a leap forward. And then I suppose we'll get some more engineers soon enough. We'll get some coal fields built up. We'll get some infrastructure built up. And actually, once the infrastructure is built up, we might want to start at least building some pillboxes into the cities. Because these I cannot afford losing. If we lose a little bit ground on the western areas or northwest from Beijing, then that is manageable most likely. It's not good, but it's at least more manageable, let's just put it that way. We can live with it and we can regain the ground if need be. Until then, we want to hold on to the cities at all costs. And we'll probably have like 1 corps per city there. And we'll also have the garrisons at least providing some help. And now we have not unlocked the heavy artillery yet, have we? No, but we are researching it, actually. Okay. So what I'm thinking, I might... Oh, there we go. That's a bit more ground gained. Let's go ahead and move these forward. And I suppose the units in here are not ready to move in yet. No, they need another day and a half. Oh, they got a unit in Corolla. Well, soon to be had a unit in Corolla. With this, well, to be fair, we are on speed 4, but this battle is going to be relatively quick. We've got 3 full divisions. Well, I say full divisions. They are quite small divisions in the end, but fully supported units, let's just say. That can then keep on moving. The 2 engineers will be done very shortly. Okay, we can go ahead and take this one. You can give a support attack. Wait for the battle in Corolla to be over. Then we'll send the other 2 in as well, so we can guarantee that we can attack Urumqi as quickly as possible. But there's one of the engineers now. Do we still have... so we've got 5 engineers there, so those don't need any. What about the militias up here? We only got 1 engineer there. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and start doing some switcheroos then. We'll take that one. There we go. And we'll start upgrading this one into infantry regiment. Because, yeah, we need to have a lot of troops. Admittedly, the garrisons aren't built yet either, so I don't think we are going to be ready against Japan until at least 39, maybe later. Ooh, there we go, road network advance. Oh, we can start researching the railroad network. Excellent. And also, I suppose we can get the first level for the road network. The first level tends to be kind of worth it, even though it does reduce your industry a little bit. But then you can chain those to get more at a time. I'm going to put in a little bit extra in consumer goods just so that there's not going to be too much fluctuation in there when we get more units and all that. Oh, there we go. This one's going to be a victory shortly enough. Spanish Republic... oh, right. How is the Spanish Civil War going anyway? Oh, the Spanish Republic is not doing all that well. They're still going to hold the eastern coast, but that's about it. Oh, boy. Well, I guess the nationalists are going to be winning the war. Austria is still alive. For now. Of course, our war over here is at least potentially ruffling some feathers, but probably not that much. Oh, there we go. Basic education advanced to level 4. So even more leadership. Is that... yeah, we can keep on researching that one. And also, let's go ahead and put in the railroad and I suppose the airport capabilities into research queue as well. Don't need to buy fuel. Another engineer, I guess we'll just keep on putting these into Nanjing and replacing the units in here. Can probably be turned into another infantry regiment. Now, admittedly, with the amount of units that we have upgrading, we only got 207,000 total strength right now, which, to be fair, it's okay. Although that is during warfare. Oh, self-signaling tanks is now something that we can start returning. Excellent. And single-engine airframe research advanced. That is where we unlock the research. That's another garrison. I think we've got the garrisons for the Northern Coast Guard, so this is going to be Shanghai Coast Guards. So under the Coastal Guards Army. We'll pull back the headquarters a little bit. Eventually we might turn some of the headquarters into some sort of combat units as well. The problem with the headquarters, of course, is that they are going to be... like, the max speed is going to be only 3 kilometers per hour, but if you do put in some support units to them and all that... Ooh, right, let's go ahead and bring these in. We are clearing out the pocket over there soon enough, although, well, not really that soon enough. The enemy unit is going to be retreating in there. Oh, actually, we can go ahead and start attacking already. So they've got a lot of units in there, although if we have a look at the manpower, it's, well, they've got a bit of manpower advantage. But again, the troops aren't really all that good units in there. They got a lot in there, manpower-wise, but it's quite rubbish in the end, I dare say. So we are going to get another one of these reinforced units. Do we have any more units that are upgraded yet? No, not really. Ooh, artillery brigade is advanced to level 2. Excellent. Unfortunately, we didn't get the pop-up for that, so we don't know the exact increases in there. But I suppose, well, at least it did increase the soft attack toughness, the defensiveness, and the various terrain bonuses. So it's not too bad. And I suppose the next one, well, I suppose, actually, yeah, that one's now researched, so we are not going to get the ancient equipment for infantry, at least, or ground forces. But the planes, on the other hand, we are going to get that one. I don't think we're going to avoid it. So we did unlock the self-sealing tanks. We could actually go ahead and start researching that one. Because that gives a lot of air defense for our planes, which, honestly, that is pretty good. So we'll queue that one up for sure. And in the meanwhile, our battle is raging on. Now, I suspect that a lot of the... Oh, there we go. We're getting some more reinforcement into combat now. So the headquarters are probably going to shatter soon enough. Oh, radiation equipment. Very good. Now, there's one headquarters already gone, and the second one is now gone. We are going to start pushing the infantry... Well, the militia right now, I suppose. But soon enough, their troops are going to get pushed back. This one managed to retreat in here. Oh, export tungsten Guatemala. To Guatemala? Okay, I don't know how they got the money, but sure. We got now about 24,000... We don't have any other mines available right now. I guess that's fine. Technically speaking, I suppose we are going to be one of the few nations that are holding onto a decent chunk of tungsten. Oh, the tungsten surplus went back down to 2. Well, that's fair enough. Oh, there we go. First echelon advance. So we're going to start researching the human wave and the tactical breakthrough. I suppose the artillery support would be quite handy as well, so we'll get all 3 of these researching. We've got way too many research underway right now. We're doing 44-ish at the same time. Of course, we do need a lot of officers recruiting and all that. Ooh, port engineering. Oh, we can build naval bases now. And we can also go ahead and start researching the basing. That's going to be very important. I guess we'll get these 2 as well. Eventually we'll be able to get the coastal forts, although I don't think we'll be building those too much, but the seaport capability is also something we'll want to get. I guess we could queue up the agriculture already. Oh, there we go. We destroyed the enemy in the pockets. I don't know if we actually destroyed it, or just, you know, shattered it. One way or the other, it's no longer in the pocket at least. Aerodynamics advanced, there we go. So now we can get the various aerodynamics research underway as well. And rechargeable undercarriage, that's going to be very handy. Increasing the speed and reducing fuel consumption of our planes quite a bit. Not that we have any plane designs yet, but the sooner we have those researched, the less fuel our planes will be using overall. So, it's all good. Ooh, major victory. Well, there we go. We did lose 2,000 men on that battle, but the enemy lost 9,000. I suspect that this is going to be fairly quick combat. What do we have now? Ooh, right. We have not... Actually, no, the 10th Engineer Regiment. Where is that one? Chengdu. Okay, well, I suppose... I'm starting to get a lot of these custom commanders right now in here. I think we're still going to hold them off from putting onto the frontline divisions, or like the infantry divisions, because we are going to have so many of them. They're not going to be really distinguished in that regard, but we can go ahead and start accumulating a bit more stuff in there. We have not unlocked the motorization of infantry. We need to truck and prime mover reliability, although is that actually underway already as a research? It is, okay. It's on the 2nd of March, according to this estimate. But that shouldn't be too bad. Ooh, there we go. We've got a steel refinery in Taiwan. Very good. So that's going to require or improve the production in there. It's not necessarily going to be a massive increase. It's 25% increase from the 15 that we have in here. So, like 3.5? Or 3.75, somewhere around there. Extra that we'll be getting from there once it's fully up and running. Ooh, there we go. Aero Engineering Research Advanced. So now we can go ahead and start finally researching our various planes. Especially the single engine fighter is something that we'll go ahead and research immediately. But that will be done in March. So we will have a bit of a penalty for our planes for a while. But that is going to then unlock the research for the next levels and then next levels and so forth. So if we want to get up to date at least on some of the planes, then the fighters are going to be the one that we need to research. Ooh, veteran unit head... Okay. Sure, we'll get some more veteran units. Oh. Who did they get assigned to? Oh, Alberta. Okay. So we've got veteran HQ in here. I suppose... We'll go ahead and move Albertus over here and we'll just switch one of these headquarters on the Mountaineer divisions. Oh, right. Oh, I suppose Albertus is going to go over there afterwards. So, yeah. We'll at least have some of those. Ooh, an autarky. I am actually going to take that. I know that it's going to reduce the amount of stuff that we can produce, but at the same time, we'll be more self-reliant on resources. So now it's going to have the base of, well, technically speaking, 15 right now, but technically speaking, it should be going up to 21, I believe. Base metal. Oh, and there we go. The war is going to be over. Here we are. We did get quite a bit more units from them, mind you. A lot of them utter rubbish, mind you. Okay, first of all, we'll take the first core. We'll start moving it down here. We'll take the second one. This one can probably go and... We've got security units already over there. I guess we could send this one up towards Jingdao to provide some help in there. And then, of course, we need to demobilize. And we need to switch the laws back to what they were before the war. Otherwise, we're going to have quite a bit of demand for consumer goods. And I don't think we're going to afford doing that much consumer goods. But there we go, that was successful. No, we don't really need to buy fuel, I'll be honest. But now we need to figure out what the heck are we going to do with all these units. Most of them, honestly, well, some of them could be kind of useful. I suspect that what we're going to do with a lot of these is just disband them. We'll get some manpower back. The cavalry could be somewhat useful. We could maybe turn that into motorized infantry at some point. So that's something that we'll probably hold on to. We might want to hold on to like one corps of troops to provide some suppression in here. Let's go ahead and refresh the map there so we can actually see everything. So where do we have... so there's a bit of industry up there as well. It's not a huge amount. That's about it. I got a few factories as well, but since we do not actually have cores in here, we won't be able to get everything from this, but I suppose that's what it's going to have to be. But actually, we are way over time for this episode, so I'll figure out what units will save and what will disband, and what will start upgrading and all that between the episodes. But if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.